Check, 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 check. Ladies and gentlemen, I just finished reading the 1,000th chapter of One Piece. And this podcast is a One Piece podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the One Piece of Mind podcast with your host, Neko White. And today, we're going to talk chapter 1,000, tell you what I thought of the chapter, what I think of the story One Piece in general, some of my headcanon, and some of my own theories. That's all. So if you enjoy this, I hope you'll get a podcast to listen. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, and most other places where you can hear podcasts. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, this is the One Piece of Mind podcast, hosted by Neko White. Episode 1,000, hilarious. Gee. Chapter 1,000, review, reactions, and some theories about One Piece going forward. I even have a theory about who I think Joy Boy is, why I think he's Joy Boy, and what the One Piece might actually be, what Roger and the Roger Pirates might have found out. So I hope to have this done in at most 30 minutes. So bear with me. This is my first time doing it on my own. I usually don't edit or anything like that. And I'm probably not going to edit. So if you hear a little bit of my life in the background, if you hear something from outside, I apologize beforehand. I hope you still find some enjoyment in this video. So anyway, y'all, let's get started. First of all, the fact that Oda, it was no nonsense this chapter. We had the cover page, which was dope, freaking amazing. But got right out that shit and straight into the action. I really appreciated that. I really appreciated that Oda didn't deviate from Luffy, because after chapter 999, the hype was already ridiculous. And I was like, that's the one thing I do not want Oda to do. I do not want Oda to leave the roof, to leave Luffy and everybody. I want Luffy to get up to the roof, and Oda wasn't playing any games, fam. We start the chapter after the cover page, you just see waves. You know what I'm saying? You can tell that Luffy is about to go ape. But before we get to that, what we see is Luffy making his way up to the roof, and he comes across the Minks, Shishilian's group in particular. Now, I don't know how everyone feels about this, but I personally think that the Minks from Zoe and the Minks in general have been the best support squad that Luffy's had in the entire show. Better than the squad that helped him get out of Impel Down. They are the best utility in One Piece so far. Because when you think about it, really look at Zoe and really think about what the Minks went through for Rizo. Really think about that. Really think about what the Minks went through when they were going against Jack. How much they actually sacrificed, right? To get everybody to this point. On top of that, think about the effect that their sacrifice had on Luffy and the crew just in general. I could make an argument that the Minks helped inspire Luffy and other characters as much as Dorian Bragi inspired Luffy and Usopp back when they were in Little Garden. So to see that it was the Minks that cleared the path for Luffy, well done. Because the Minks who aren't Nekomamushi and Inuarashi, I personally think they deserve a W. Because when you think about it, they haven't been given their W. The Minks have gotten just tragedy after tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. First, you have Jack shows up to Zunisha. He almost sinks it. That's after killing and hurting however many people he killed or hurt and poisoned. He took Nekomamushi's arm. He took Inuarashi's leg. He tortured the Minks. Then, on top of that, they lose Pedro. Pedro goes a whole kick out and he killed himself now. But Pedro dies, right? They get to Wano. They want to be helpful. The Minks like Shishilian and the others, they fight Jack. And then they can't even beat Jack. They injure him a good amount, but they can't beat Jack. Nekomamushi and Inuarashi got to jump in. So they probably feel a certain way about not being able to be of 100% help to their leaders. Only to have to come back to the fifth floor and be relegated to play in the background. But damn it, they play it well, fam. They play it real well. And there was a really cool moment on the second page where Luffy all smiles says thanks a bunch, and he says he says Shishilian's name wrong, and he brings up the fact that I haven't forgotten. Luffy brings up the fact that he still hasn't forgot what the Minx did to protect Raizo that time, and he says thanks again, and I'll be right back. Now, y'all have to understand, right here in the first, and this is still only like the first page. Shishilian goes like this to wipe some tears out of his eyes. And you think to yourself, I think somebody said like, yo, Shishilian wanted to like talk to Luffy. I don't think it was that. I think it was more the fact that Shishilian's probably overwhelmed because of everything that I mentioned before, that the Minks have been through so much before getting to this point. So I think for Shishilian to see that glimmer of hope going upstairs, especially because there's got to be some foreboding emotions. Like the Mink's stomach probably hurt right now because I doubt that even though they believe in their masters and all that, I doubt even they think that they're coming back alive. So to see the new hope in Luffy running up there steadfast like he said he would, keeping his promises, not letting Nekomamushi and Urashi and the Scabbards just in general, not letting them down. And I believe that the Minks were up on the roof when they declared that, Luffy isn't like Kaido. He's not going to, just betray us. I think they were on the roof of that. I could be wrong. I'm sure you guys will correct me if I am. So then we jump to the live floor with Marco, King, Queen, and Zoro. Here's what I want to say about Marco. Marco is a beast, and I think we forget as a fandom sometimes just how much of a beast Marco is. I remember when I was watching Marineford, and you see the people that Marco was going up against. He's clashing with Akainu. He's clashing with Kuzan. He's clashing with Kizaru. So it's not surprising to me that he could hold off Queen and his mechanical neck and King for long enough to kick Zoro up to the roof. That's not crazy to me at all. I think we should all consider that the Gorosei once said that Marco has enough power to be able to go against or maybe even stop Blackbeard. And when they said that, I don't know if they were talking like one-on-one or crew on crew, because even back in Marineford, I thought crew on crew wouldn't even be close. But we sleep on Marco a little bit. Because Marco basically did the king and queen what Big Mom did to him. Yoked him up like this again. You ain't going to do nothing to nobody. And went on about his business. Kicked Zoro up to the roof. Zoro going up to the roof was just hilarious. And Marco talking down to king and queen was just, it was necessary. It was necessary. It was necessary for all of us that forgot what tier Marco is actually on. So I think it was a nice little quick reminder. And I'm not one of those power scalers. I don't think that this is one of those things that's a big L for king or queen. I just think it's something that happened and it needed to happen that way. And to be honest, I completely wouldn't mind if Marco is the one left fighting king and queen. Am I the only one who feels that way? I would be 100% down with that. Marco fight king and have Chopper and an assortment of others fight queen. Chopper has said for the longest time that he was going to become a monster for Luffy. He said that back in the time skip when he was on the island he was on being trained by the birds and all that. I want to see that come to fruition. And I know there's some people that will probably say to me that, oh, well, Chopper isn't strong enough to take on. Listen, fam. Let's not forget things like Brain Point, okay? Let's not forget that it doesn't have to be a one-on-one. Usopp is still downstairs. Nami is still downstairs. Chopper has the antidote for Queen's viruses already. I think that a case could be made that Chopper versus Queen not only makes sense, but it's kind of been it's a little bit built up in my personal opinion. This is Chopper's second time dealing with Queen's plague, and Chopper ain't even had the chance to put hands on. He's a dinosaur. Nigga, Chopper's a reindeer. Luffy's on the roof. Sanji and Zoro are nowhere close. Brook and Robin are on their way to wherever they're going. Nami, Usopp, and Chopper are downstairs. So why not? Why not? Chopper needs something this arc. And what would be better than Chopper putting up a dope fight or maybe even beating Queen? I know some of y'all are like, no, that can never happen. I get it. But I'm just saying I can see it happening. But I'm going off on a tangent. Let's move on. So we go back to Momonosuke, Shinobu, and Yamato all talking to one another. And Yamato is revealing everything. And I love the way that Oda just tied everything up in this one, and not this one, but in this chapter right here. Because she mentions the fact that someone must have protected Odin's journal from burning in the castle. And God only knows who could have done that. I don't know if it was Toki. I don't know if it was Hiyori. But somebody saved Odin's journal. And she's talking about Odin's prediction that when they went to wherever they went to, Roger and Roger and his crew found out that somebody was going to be coming to Wano in 20 years to make everything right. And the fact that Momonosuke was born on Whitebeard's ship, he rode with Roger, and then years later he came back to Wano with this young pirate who ended up being Luffy, who Ace told her about all those years ago. And even though it's not Ace, who she thought would be the one that was leading the charge, this whole thing kind of feels right. And it does. But then we get to this funny interaction with Yamato and Ace. And I don't ship Yamato or Ace or anything like that, but I will say I wish they could have made better friends with one another, fam, because they really seem to get along great. And I don't know if I'm on the team of Yamato for Straw Hat. I don't know if I'm with that. It would be great, but considering the fact that she's giving Momo his dad's diary, I think I'm in the crew of either Yamato, because Yamato could be one of the ones that dies this arc, and it'd be really tragic to show that Kaido is really not playing. Kill his daughter. You know what I'm saying? I can see that happening, but mostly I could see Yamato going on to form her own crew, and this whole arc has been about betrayal. It's one of the themes that comes up over and over and over again. And I don't think Yamato ever really betrayed Kaido. I think Kaido more betrayed Yamato, her slash his whole life. You know what I'm saying? When you think about it, and after everything that's happened on the live floor with Kaido's like lower level subordinates, they might not want to be a part of these pirates anymore. And they don't necessarily have a reason to dislike Yamato. Yamato's strong, not as much as her father, but I'm sure for her age, probably not too far off. She probably wouldn't do the things to Kaido's subordinates that Kaido's doing to them. So I'm just curious about when this whole thing is over. Will Yamato join the Grand Fleet, which in my opinion would be not a better move, but it's a move I'd clap for. If she joined the crew, I wouldn't have anything against that either. But if she went on to join the Grand Fleet with the remnants of the Beast Pirates that are loyal to Kaido, or that used to be loyal to Kaido, I think that would be dope. I think that would be something cool. So anyway, we move forward. And we get the moment where Ace is talking to Yamato and he's lamenting because he let go Luffy's dream. He let go that other side of Luffy's dream that's always on mute, right? And it was really touching. It was one of the few things in the chapter that pulled on the heartstrings because Oda has a talent for that, okay? For getting you to feel ways about characters that you've only known for a little while or characters that you've known forever. But in particular, when it comes to One Piece as a manga and as a brand, they're great with callbacks. So this right here, when Ace says to Yamato, "Damn it, my tongue slipped. I spoke without thinking. Forget any of this happened, okay? Wait, more importantly, don't you dare laugh. Sabo and I won't forgive you if you do." This is why that line was so deep and why it made me like go pull one. This is why it made me pull one of those. It made me do that because that sentiment has come up so many times in this story, fam. And it goes to show you just who means what to Luffy and vice versa. Because if you think back, I'm manga and anime. I do both, right? So I remember back before I was reading One Piece and I was watching it, people laughing at people's dreams, in particular to certain characters. It was Syrup Village, and Kuro was doing his thing, and Usopp made his pledge that on his word he wouldn't let Captain Kuro do anything to the village, and they started laughing. Oof, Luffy went apeshit when that happened. Go back, he smashed boulders on the heads of these people. I don't think Luffy's ever killed anybody, but go back and watch the anime. That shit would have killed a regular person. And he did that because they laughed at Usopp's dream. And this is before Usopp was a member of his crew. Then we get to Alabasta. Usopp is going against Mr. I forgot the man with the bat. I think it's Mr. Four, Miss Merry Christmas. And Usopp is battered, bloody, bruised, out of commission, head cracked, skull, like the bone and shit cracked. And he gets back up and he says that there's some fights that a man can't avoid, especially when his friends' dreams are laughed at. Luffy will be the Pirate King. That's the one thing that Usopp will not let you laugh at. Right? Then you cut to this chapter. And you have Ace saying, "Don't you dare laugh. Sabo and I won't forgive you." It's just funny to me which characters in particular, because I know all the Straw Hats feel that way when it comes to Luffy, right? Each and every last one of them do. But it's just curious to me the parallel. Ace's brother is Luffy. His brother said if you laugh at his dream, he'd basically kill you. He's going to let you have it. Usopp, who a lot of people see as Luffy's best friend, like just standard on the crew. I would say if there was a brotherly bond between any of them, you can make this argument for any Straw Hat. You know what I'm saying? All of them, all the male Straw Hats feel like family to Luffy, like their brothers to him, or in Frankie's case, an uncle. Frankie and Brook are probably uncles to Luffy, with the rest, Zoro, Chopper, Sanji, and Usopp especially being brotherly figures to Luffy. So I just thought that was something that was really clever and a great way to call back on a theme that's been shown over and over again in One Piece. Shit, as a matter of fact, you remember how Ape Sabo went when Burgess fat ass was talking trash. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to curse y'all. Anyway, so Ace shows something again when this is this tugging them heartstrings, fam, because Ace here became so many different characters. Like he ran parallel to so many different characters. When he says, and honestly, he believes it, he believes he can do it. That's why. And I think he's about to say that's why he believes in it too. And fam, it was almost like he wasn't in any threat of dying, but he was as serious saying that as fucking Nami was in chapter 995. You get what I mean? This belief in Luffy, dog, it's different. It's different. The people that believe in Luffy all the way. And sure, I know they're the main characters. You can even say that, yeah, well, I'm sure Killer believes in yeah, but F all that. F all that. Talking about the GOAT here. Talking about the MC. Everybody that believes in Luffy, and it's different. They go hard for theirs, fam. To the point that Yamato started crying. Yamato ain't never met Luffy, and I get it. I know she's, you know what I'm saying, overwhelmed with emotion because she has Odin's log. She knows what the Pirate King says. She even says to Ace in the scans that I read that the Pirate King uttered those exact same words. Now, here's where I was giving pause, right? Because she says the Pirate King uttered those exact same words. And she said that in a thought bubble, it would seem, right? It doesn't look like she said that out loud, because if she said it out loud, I feel like Ace wouldn't say what he said, because it continues to go within Kozuki Odin's journal. There's a mention of a great man that said those exact same words. There's no way I'd laugh at that. Your little brother is amazing. And Ace goes, really? A great man, huh? I like the sound of that. I would love to have a drink with him and Luffy someday. Here's the crazy part about that. Ace just admitted that he would have a drink with his pops, if that's who Yamato is talking about. Because when I first read the thought bubble where she says it's the same thing the Pirate King said, because Pirate King was in quotes, I thought that Yamato was referring not to Luffy, but to Joy Boy, right? I'm sorry, I said not to Luffy. Excuse me. I can't edit, so every blooper I make, you're gonna see that shit. And I hope you laugh at it as hard as I would laugh at it. But when she said that, I did not assume that she was talking about Roger. I assumed she was talking about Joy Boy because Pirate King in this scan that I'm reading was in quotation marks, right? But if she's not talking about Joy Boy and she's talking about Roger, even better. If she's talking about Roger, we just got the moment. After 1,000 chapters, after all we know, after all we've learned about Roger deep down being a good dude, after all we know about Ace hating his father so much because of the influence from the outside world, as far as we saw, said that he would love to have a drink with his dad and Luffy someday. I don't know, fam. For some reason, for me, that was really powerful. And if Yamato wasn't talking about Roger, even though I think she was, even if she wasn't, still makes sense. Because if she wasn't talking about Roger, that leads me to a theory that I'll tell you all about in the next couple of minutes. But I want to get down to nitty gritty. So she makes Ace's Viva card, which again, older tying up callbacks, dog. I'm a comedian, okay? I'm a stand-up comedian by profession. And if you guys care to, I hope you check me out. My name's Neko White, Neko White. Look up my first special. It's called Introducing Me. I put it out in 2015. And I have a new one that I just dropped in 2020 called Dark Out. Check those out. But I say that to say this. Callbacks are one of my favorite things in my art form, right? Setting something up early and then being able to bring it back. I always thought that's some slick shit that shows your mastery of technique. This right here is a masterclass on how to do callbacks in writing, how to do callbacks in general. Fam, Yamato gave Ace his Viva card. The same Viva card that led Luffy to Ace in Marineford. Fire! Fam. And we ain't even halfway through. So next we see Luffy going up the stairs, and we see Yamato's dialogue. What she's saying, I learned that Ace was Roger's son after Ace's Viva card, you know what I'm saying, burned away. And also that his little brother became a pirate, was making a name for himself. And that little brother is the same Luffy that you, Momonosuke, bought here. Oden documented the future as follows. Bro, as she's saying this, Luffy's gotten up the stairs. And we get to see a panel with, Luffy coming up the stairs. And it's this giant spread. It's beautiful. If people know how to color, if you know how to color this in, please send this to me. And I'm going to make this my backdrop for every video I do like this. Luffy gets to the roof, fam. It's Luffy, Kid Killer, Law, and Zoro. It's Luffy and Zoro in extras. I'm just kidding. It's Eustace Kid, it's Killer, Monkey D. Luffy, Rono Zoro, and Trafalgar D. Walter Law. Standing opposite of a menacing Big Mom and a scary looking Kaido. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but Big Mom is a lot more intimidating than Kaido. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear it, and I don't want to hear it. I don't care if Kaido turns into the greatest hybrid we've ever seen. Big Mom scares me a lot more than Kaido. And I don't know that she's been portrayed as over Kaido. I don't want to start fires in the comments section, but in my opinion, dog, it ain't even all that close. Big Mom ain't took a hit yet. Big Mom ain't been injured yet. Nothing. Nada. Not a damn thing. No damage. She's still clean. So, to see her on that smiling cloud with her teeth, the way that it's drawn here, frightening. Kaido looks menacing, but he just looks like tall. You know what I'm saying? Big Mom looks different. And she's like taller than Kaido, the way they have him set up. Kaido's like right here, Big Mom is right here, and I don't want to go into like that means anything because it probably doesn't. I'm just saying she looks a lot more intimidating than Kaido. And honestly, throughout the whole series, just damage wise and all that shit, I think y'all been sleeping on Big Mom, fam. And I think it's criminal how much y'all been sleeping on Big Mom. I think Big Mom has much better record in IMO than Kaido, but we gonna find out very soon. Now let's get to the coup de grace, this whole thing, fam. Luffy's standing in front of Big Mom and Kaido. And you can see the exclamation points on Kaido's face. Big Mom's looking down at Luffy. Killer's even shocked. Kaido looks over to Big Mom like, and Kaido's just disrespectful, man. Kaido looks over to Big Mom and go, hey, Lin Lin, you believe what this little mom tried to say he was going to be? Luffy, tell her what you said you was going to be. Tell her. Tell her what you told me to my face. You ain't going to believe this. And Big Mom was like, nah, I already know. He a cheeky one. Yeah, he even destroyed my castle. But Big Mom like she about a lot more action than Kaido's about. Cause she's like, you owe me an apology, bruh. Luffy walked right past him. I'm talking about. He walked right past him, dog. Wasn't even phased. The fact that it didn't even matter to him. And it's at this moment where you realize, fam, I've only been a One Piece fan for about maybe 6 years now. I've been a part of the fandom. And I know how I felt. I got chills when I saw that part of it, right? When Luffy just whoosh, walked past Big Mom and Kaido to Kinemon. And I don't think I can describe this the proper way, but I'm going to attempt to. The weight of that scene and the weight of what we're about to talk about, of the scene we're about to talk about next. Luffy and Kinemon are talking to each other. Kinemon is just a husk of body at this point. And he asks Kinemon if he's all right. Kinemon coughs himself back into consciousness. He's spitting up blood. All the scabbards are just tossed to the wayside. They don't seem dead, which I'm actually pretty fine. I'm fine with that, fam. I'm fine with that. They don't seem like they're dead. And Kinemon is lamenting in the worst way, and it's almost torturous that Kaido didn't kill him, because to make a samurai live with the shame of failure is almost worse than killing them. So to everyone that was like, yo, the scabbards need to die, if the raid fails and Kaido doesn't die, you might get an even better tragedy. The scabbards might all cut their stomachs open. Samurai code. Bushido, bruh. So I don't know. You might get the tragic ending that you're looking for. It just might look a lot different. The scabbards all might die, but might not be for the reason you thought. Kaido might not kill them. They might kill themselves. But that's not what I'm talking about. Kinemon says something that really got big. Again, them heartstrings. Kinemon, the leader of the scabbards. The first one. Oden Zoro, fam. Says, if I leave things like this, I won't be able to show my face to Lord Oden in the other world. Tooth out, face full of blood. And he says to Luffy, won't you please shoulder our burden? The same words that Yamato said Oden wrote in his journal, that someone in 20 years would come bearing the burden of the next generation. See me when you become a great pirate, is what Shanks told Luffy. Fam, as Luffy was holding the quivering body of his passed out friend, with a Yonko, Kaido, lifting the same kanabo, or whatever the hell you call that big ass mace he walks around with. The same mace that knocked Luffy unconscious the first time he was hit with it. Without missing a beat, Luffy just started giving orders. Because it was seen that Kinemon saw what was about to happen. He sees Kaido holding the weapon over Luffy. He says something to Luffy without even missing the beat. Luffy says, Law, send them all below. On point. Law, get some out of there. Not even within, I don't know how much time we'll see it in the anime, but with quickness, Luffy got out of the way, and we do a flashback, a quick one, of everything that Luffy's had to see because of Kaido. The Raizo is safe moment, which goes back. That's the first thing we see is him remembering when the mink said Raizo is safe, and that's the first people that he came in contact with in this chapter. Getting called back so crazy. Then we see Nekomamushi, and we see Momonosuke and the promise that he made, the promise he made to the scabbards, and then we see Yasui getting shot up. All of the weight, all of the things. Hirogoro the flower being happy that the spirit of rebellion is still a thing. I'm so excited I can't even fucking talk. Luffy dips out of the way. Kaido didn't even have a chance to look up. Gum red rock. Now, there's an author's note that says Red Hawk, so we've decided to go with the term Red Rock, which is a bigger and stronger mythical bird of prey. Now, I don't know what they're going to do in the official. When the official comes out, I might even make another video, but I just want to say the fact that Luffy punched Kaido, former member of the Rocks Pirates, with Red Rock, considering the fact that, Luffy was training himself by punching metal slabs like punching bags, and considering that his granddad, Garp, who I personally think Luffy is most alike. I don't think Luffy is most like Roger. I think he's most like his granddad. But you can find my opinion on that in the first One Piece of Mind episode on my YouTube channel, Neko White. He punches former Rocks Pirates with Red Rock. My nigga Luffy knocked Kaido to the fucking ground. And if I'm not mistaken, Kaido's eyes went white. But for real this time, white. Did it knock him out? No, I don't think so. Not at all. But he hit that mother. And it was at this moment that I got up, on some like I was in my crib going crazy, because again, for me, this is 6 years of build up, right? Can you imagine what this felt like? The people that have been reading this joint for 7 years, 14 years, 21 or 23 years. You know how cathartic this moment was? For most One Piece fans, Luffy's already done it. Luffy could lose here. If Luffy and his crew live, and he saw Shanks, I don't know, tomorrow. I don't know if y'all heard that siren. That's the feds coming. They heard how dope the chapter was and what we talking about. But when you think about the fact, all we've seen from Luffy, all of the growth we've seen this character have, the fact that he got up to the the fact that he got up to the roof, saw Kaido, and with all those he stayed calm. Luffy stayed calm. Back in Impel Down, when Luffy came across Blackbeard, it was action. It was action. It was irrational action. And Luffy had to be reined in. This time, nah. Cool as a cucumber. Cooler. Cooler than Aokiji on this shit. Walked right past Kaido. Punched him right in his mouth. And then again, in my opinion, Big Mom just proved she's a boss again, because she's looking at Kaido like, my nigga, what? So you're just gonna let him punch you like that? I'm standing on clouds looking menacing, and you're just gonna let him punch you in the horns like this? And then, as the Yonko have egg on their face, our boy, the MC, says, my name is Monkey D. Luffy. I will surpass the both of you. I am the man who will become the Pirate King. I got chills. I got chills to the point where I thought I might have to go get a COVID test. I'm just kidding. I got chills, fam. Luffy did it. He's done it. Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy is a great pirate. It happened. If he doesn't do anything else, he's a great pirate. So I just want to say this, and it'll end what I feel as far as like the review is concerned. I give chapter 1,000 a 10 out of 10. I thought that it was going to be, I made a prediction in my last episode that this chapter 1,000, was going to be a Rocks flashback. Man, not only was it not a Rocks flashback, but dog, it was so good that I don't even need a Rocks flashback in the next couple chapters. If Oda decided to wait 6 months, if we got more of this, I'm cool with it. So, you know what I mean? So I thought that this was a 10 out of 10 for me. I got everything that I wanted. The only thing that didn't happen here was Sanji didn't make it up to the roof. Yeah, he's not a supernova. I get that. I don't want to piss off any Zoro fans. I heard that y'all could be real unruly, but as a Sanji fan and as a fan of I just want the whole Straw Hat crew to get up to the roof. You know what I'm saying? I want that. I want to see all 10 Straw Hats on the roof. I don't care if Kaido kills Killer. I don't care if Kaido crucifies Kid. I don't care if Big Mom eats Law. I want all of the Straw Hats on the roof. I want all of the Straw Hats to look the Emperors in their eyes. And I want the Straw Hat Pirates, all of them at one time, to say it in front of Luffy and in front of the Yonkos that Luffy is the man that's going to become the king of the pirates and then start the team fight. I never thought that we were going to see a 1v1 or 9v2 of the Supernovas versus Big Mom and Kaido. No. I'm good on all that. I want to see the Straw Hat Pirates versus Big Mom and Kaido. That's what I want to see. I want it to be the Straw Hats. So the sooner they all get up there, the better. Sanji first, though, because I just don't feel comfortable watching Luffy fight with just his right hand. I think that's unfair. And for all we know, and this is we going into the headcanon part of the podcast now, so there's only about 10 more minutes left, guys. I would love it if we found out, and I don't even mind if this part was off screen, that Brooke and Robin already got to where Sanji is. And Robin is the one that's going to be going up against Black Maria. And Sanji's already scared away invisibly. Because if Sanji goes invisible, can they even catch him if he decides to run away? And that way he doesn't have to hit a woman. You know what I'm saying? Until he goes up to the roof to fight Big Mom. And it's completely within Sanji's character to do it just like that. Avoid fighting women. I could turn invisible, go invisible, dip. Black Maria wonders what happens. He comes across Robin and Brooke in the staircase, have Brooke cut off whatever adhesive that has him stuck, and leave Brooke and Robin to take care of Black Maria and her folks. And if we remember, Brooks killed the spider before with Robin back in Thriller Bark. So I'm just saying, it's probably what's going to happen. That's my theory anyway. But here's the last thing, and this is a bit of a super theory, and I sent this to a couple of my friends, and I just hope that I have this right. So this is just some headcanon. It's a little part of the podcast that I do every week. I hope you enjoy it. It's just some things that I know I could 100% be wrong about, and I'm open for that. These are just some theories I have. I hope you'll enjoy them. So when I saw what Yamato said in the scans about the Pirate King, when I saw that Pirate King was in quotes, it got me to thinking, what if we have it wrong how we're looking at this whole thing, right? What if we have it wrong when we talk about what One Piece, Joy Boy, and all that stuff really is? Because we all seem to be under the impression that Luffy is Joy Boy. What if we found out something different, though? What if we found out that Joy Boy was actually still alive and that he's Im-sama? Now, I'm sure there's probably plenty of people that have already made that connection, but let me tell you what gave me what gave me the thought. This just happened today. I have it literally. I have it written down. All right. So when I was reading everything, I noticed Ace's hat. I noticed Ace's hat, and I noticed those two fucking buttons, man. And I thought back to the anime, and I was like, yo, why do those buttons always stick out? Why? Those buttons always stick out. That fucking smile on Law's Jolly Roger and all that. It sticks out all the time. Every time it's drawn, it pops from the pages for some reason, right? And on Ace's hat, it's in the same place. I got like a hair on. I apologize. This is the most ridiculous I've ever been in a video, but hell with it. As long as y'all have fun. The hat with the buttons, the frown, and the smile are both right there with each other, right? What if we learn something interesting? What if we learn that Eam is Joy Boy, right? And what ended up happening is that Eam made a promise to bring Poseidon up to the surface, bring Poseidon and her people up to the surface. Now, all we've been told is that Joy Boy broke his promise, right? Well, what if we find out the reason that his promise was broken wasn't because Joy Boy failed? And look, if we already got confirmation that that's wrong, then damn it, let it be wrong and enjoy how wrong it is. But what if we find out that something happened with Joy Boy that what turned him into Eam-sama was that not only did he break his promise, but he failed his mission. Maybe what he wanted most in Poseidon, the mermaid princess, what if Poseidon fell for somebody else? What if Poseidon fell for the Pirate King? What if the Pirate King and Joy Boy are two different freaking people? What if? Because when you look at it, right? When you look at Ace's hat, you see that frown and you see that smile. They're the same kind of button, bro. They're the same kind of button. And we've seen Luffy characters like Luffy and Ace drawn with that smile, with that exact same smile. You know what I'm saying? And what if the frown, you have Joy Boy, but then you have something else. And what if Joy Boy went completely crazy because the Pirate King picked up his girl? And what if he went and ate a devil fruit because of that? And then after eating that devil fruit, he went on to wage war with the Pirate King, his allies, and decimated them. That would then make sense to me why the sea itself said, well, F you and all devil fruit users, because of something that Joy Boy or Eam-sama did back in the day. Because it makes too much sense to me, and I don't want to lose my point, so I'm gonna make sure I have it all down. I don't want to forget any parts of it because I went way too hard in typing it in an Instagram group chat. So when you look at it, right, and you consider the fact that Roger and everybody, when they got to Laugh Tale, they burst out laughing. And people are going, oh, well, they must have found something so funny, right? Well, what if the funny thing they found out was that, yo, you too early? And what if that's what made them laugh? Because basically they went through all of that only to find out that it was kind of for nothing. So then Roger decides that, you know what? Because I'm too early and I'm going to die, I'm not going to make it the next 20 years. That it's kind of ridiculous that we all went through this trouble. Sorry, guys. And then they all burst out laughing because they found out that, yo, this whole time we are too early. Roger's not going to live long enough. So this whole thing's kind of been worthless, even though we have everything we need, but we're just too early. It's a cruel joke. And if they found out that Joy Boy was alive, or that Joy Boy turned on the world itself and went haywire, it kind of makes sense that Roger would say something like, you know what, I would like to have a drink with that guy. And you might say, well, why? Why does that make sense? It makes sense because every time we've seen people have drinks in One Piece, as far as I can remember, it was either before or after some version of great conflict. It was after the conflict or right before it. Luffy, Sabo, and Ace, do I need to explain to you the type of relationship they had with Luffy before they accepted Luffy? They fought before they accepted Luffy. You know what I'm saying? They frowned at Luffy before they smiled at him. Same thing with Kaido and Whitebeard. Not Kaido Whitebeard, I'm sorry, with Shanks and Whitebeard. When we first saw them interact with each other, what's the first thing they did? They did it in reverse. They frowned at each other. They smiled at each other first, then frowned at each other. You know what I'm saying? They exchanged their drinks, followed by that epic clash. You look at Big Mom and Kaido. They clashed first, then they ended up having their drinks. But the biggest example that I can show you for something like that is Frankie and Senor Pink. Two people that are definitely not on the same side. One of them is smiling. Frankie is a very happy person. Senor Pink is very, he's a tortured soul. You know what I mean? And after their fight, what did Frankie say? I would love to have a drink with you, to hear about that lady. What if that was more Roger's reasoning? Joy Boy, I would love to have a drink with you. And maybe talk about that old lady. I don't know. I just think it makes sense because there's a straw hat in Eames' refrigerator, fam. And people say, oh, that's the body of Joy Boy. But why can't it just be that Eam is Joy Boy? And Eam didn't die. Eam might not know where the One Piece is. You know what I'm saying? Especially if that shit is at sea. There's some people that theorize that the One Piece is on an island underwater. And if Eam is Joy Boy, and by this theory, if he's the first person to eat a devil fruit and then the sea hates him, he probably can't get the laugh tale even if he wanted to. And Lord knows he probably doesn't want anyone else to find what's on laugh tale, so he probably doesn't even send the Marines there if he even knew where it was. And he might not. Now let's talk about the One Piece. What could One Piece be? Well, if by this theory, if Roger had everything this world had to offer, he read all the poneglyphs, he ended up at Laugh Tale. What could possibly be waiting at Laugh Tale? Well, if you find out that you're too early for something, you leave everything that the people need. There's an egg that we still don't have accounted for in One Piece. That egg and everything that's needed to fight Joy Boy, I think is what Roger left on Laugh Tale. His treasure and everything. I think because he found out that he was too early into his journey, he got his dream, but it's like, oh, this was all basically for nothing because I can't even do anything with it. I can't even meet this Joy Boy person. Well, if Eames Joy Boy, Luffy can meet him. And Luffy can get down to the bottom of it. We're going to have to destroy the red line to make all blue. I've always thought that. So, you're going to need a weapon that can do that. What if Roger had that weapon? What if Roger had that weapon, like Shiki mentioned back in Chapter 0? What if Roger had that weapon, but it was just too soon to use it because it hadn't hatched yet? And what if the thing that hatches from that egg is that bird that's in the flag on the Kozuki emblem? What if it's that? What if you need that bird? What if that bird is the Rocks bird or whatever? Because the Rocks is a mythical bird of prey. What if that's one of the things you need? What if that's one of the things you need? Because if you remember the Sea Kings, back when they were in Fishman Island, they were pulling Noah. Noah had a bunch of different sides that they had to grab to take it to where they were taking it to. The bird in Wano has a whole bunch of what looks like tails. I don't know. I would just think that if you're going to bring something down from the bottom of the ocean, you would carry it up. And I don't know if Noah has, 8 different things that you can carry like a palanquin. And if the Kozuki bird has 6 or 7, 8 different tails, it would stand to reason that if the fishmen get up high enough on Noah, the tails can latch on, pull the rest of Noah about the water. So I don't know. And again, why do I think that Sama is Joy Boy? Well, the D's are the natural enemy of God. And nobody ever said that Joy Boy was a D. All we know is that Joy Boy broke his promise. And he didn't get the girl that he wanted. And if you look at Sama's eyes, he has eyes that we assume that Doflamingo has under his glasses. What's one thing we know about Doflamingo? Doflamingo is very much that sad, frowning face. He's what happens when someone powerful and somebody that could be righteous goes that dark way, that dark side of the coin. That guy is frowning all the time. Versus Coruscant was the opposite of that. He's a good person. Versus Doflamingo, who's terribly bad and unhinged. And for all intents and purposes, Doflamingo, if he was a good character, if Doflamingo was positive, think about how positive he would be. If Doflamingo was not positive, he would literally be Sama in the darkness, not really knowing how or what to do. So, my little theory is just that is Joy Boy. He doesn't want anyone to know. That's the secret history that's written on the poneglyphs. That the man that everyone is supposed to be waiting for is already here. But you have to defeat him. Because what happened was he promised that he was going to bring the mermaid queen and her people up to the surface, but he failed in that mission. And he failed in that mission. But I think the Pirate King tried to succeed in that mission. And in trying to succeed in that mission, he captured the mermaid princess's heart. And in capturing her heart, that sent Joy Boy on a rampage. And he wanted revenge against the Pirate King and pirates themselves. And maybe went and amassed his own power by finding what we assume would be a devil fruit tree, eating the first one, maybe killing the Pirate King of that time. And then the sea condemned all devil fruit users from there on for that reason. Roger goes on this long, drawn-out journey, sacrifices everything, only to find out, shit, I'm too early. Dog, I'm a comedian, fam. That is some hilarious shit. That's something that will make you laugh. But yo, this is all one big joke. Okay, well, I got everything I need. You know what? I'm going to leave it all in one piece. Fam, when he says I'm going to leave it all in one piece, it reminds me when my mom would iron my clothes when I was a kid, and she would leave it all on one iron in the morning. Like, all right, I left everything over there in one piece. So, I'm 100% probably wrong. You know what I'm saying? Luffy will probably end up being Joy Boy, but if it ends up being that will make some sense, especially considering the fact the editor just recently came out and said everybody else has the ending of One Piece wrong. And what better way to swerve us than that? So, we're rounding out at about 53 minutes. I hope that you guys watched this to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. And to wrap up, I hope to be doing more of these at least once a week. This is called the One Piece of Mind podcast. I have at least 10 episodes of the podcast already up. You can find a couple of the early videos that I've made on my personal YouTube channel. I'll put that in the description below. That's Neko White. I am a stand-up comedian. Some people will tell you I'm a very good one. I even tell you that. So if you'd like to look me up and check out some comedy, if that's your thing, please look me up. Neko White. I have a new comedy special out. It's called Dark Out. I did it. I walked into a music studio, no audience because, COVID-19 restrictions made crowds illegal. So I went to a music studio and I just did my stand-up material, about 2020, everything that's been going on, everything that I've been going through in this time. And I'm really proud of that project. So if you would like to check out some stand-up, please check out my newest special, Neko White, Dark Out. You can find it right here on YouTube on my comedic channel. You can check out my first special, Neko White Introducing Me, also, both completely free. And if you like what you see, I have an album on iTunes that you can buy. It's called Marcellus, Marcellus. You can check that out anywhere comedy albums are sold. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for listening to this. I found One Piece in AMVs. It was in my related videos years ago. I didn't really know anything about it. I'm one of those people. I was a Dragon Ball fan. I was like, if I'm watching Dragon Ball, it's only Dragon Ball and fuck all the other animes, right? When I found One Piece, I'll never forget it. It was an AMV of Ace's death. And I didn't know Luffy. I always ignored One Piece. I didn't want any part. Fuck the rubber. Get out of here. Dog. When Akainu smashed through Ace and Luffy reacted, Garp reacted, and I didn't know any of these characters at this point. Any of them. I didn't know who I was looking at. The voice actors were so dope. The emotion, the drawing was so dope that it made me a fan instantly. I went to WCO stream immediately. If y'all don't know what that is, it's probably low-key the best place to go watch anime outside of the official release because it has every single anime and cartoon ever made just on that site. So go peep that. I ain't gonna put the link anywhere because the feds, but go peep that. And dog, I've been a deep fan ever since. Garp is my favorite character. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big believer that we're gonna find out that Garp and Ace had a much longer conversation than Impel Down. And I think Garp promised Ace that he would stay neutral in Marineford. Because when you go back to Marineford and you think about it, Garp going to Impel Down without Sengoku knowing, him sitting in front of Ace, and Ace being the type of person that he was, just seemed really cold in his talk with Garp, while Garp seemed really, really like he was embracing Ace in that moment. And Ace is not the type of character that's ungrateful. Ace is a lot of things. Ace is not an ungrateful character at all. So the fact that he didn't thank Garp for at least taking care of him in Impel Down goes to show that we didn't see that whole conversation. And we're going to see more of that conversation. Okay? I think Ace made Garp promise him that he would not interfere because, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, I'm going to take this to an hour. Because Ace knows that Garp being a Marine to Garp, that means as much as being Pirate King means to Luffy. I think that's something that Ace understands. I think that's something that Ace would not want Garp to sacrifice for him. I really think that. And I think that's one of the reasons why when Garp went to go meet the Don, he just took that beating because he felt sad and probably agreed with what Don was saying, that, you know, I'm the reason that all happened. I probably could have did more. But I think there's more to the fact of why he didn't do more. Because notice, he only snapped and decided to actively put his hands on something after Ace was killed, after the promise is fulfilled. Especially if we find out later that Garp is the leader of Sword. You get what I mean? So I hope that everybody is safe first and foremost, and I hope to God, if you're a One Piece fan, you're having all the fun that you can right now. This is a dope time for us. Congratulations to Ichiro Oda for reaching 1,000 chapters of what will probably go down as the greatest popular Japanese manga to ever exist. One Piece is a masterclass in storytelling. It's a masterclass on callbacks. Masterclass. So, to the fandom and the people that enjoy One Piece, I hope I can add myself as one of the voices that you'll listen to. And even if not, I hope your safety. Please be healthy, be safe. My name is Neko White. This has been One Piece of Mind podcast, chapter 1000. Review, reaction, and some headcanon. Follow the podcast on iTunes. Link for that in the description below. God bless you all and have a great night.